Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this consultation series. We're going to give you all kinds of tips and tricks for effectively and properly lighting up your home. This is a free consultation that we do for all our clients. So if you want to get your free consultation, just shoot me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca. Send me a few pictures and we'll give you a video presentation of what lights are going to work best with your property, or go and visit us at lightingdoctor.ca or go check out all our videos on YouTube.
Hey Andrew, thanks again for sending the pictures, and I'm going to give you a couple ideas. I think one thing you're going to want to do, you probably will have to test a couple things to see what you guys like, especially with some of the shrubs and stuff that are so close to the house. There's a couple different ways you can do that, but without being able to tell exactly how close they are, you may want to test some things. So the nice thing is whenever you get one of our kits, you get something called an Instalight, and basically it's what it is just a battery operated pack that you can actually plug the light into and go and stake it in different places to kind of see what effect you're looking for. So before you go and bury anything or have to set anything up, you can actually go and see exactly where you're going to want to place that light. So I'll explain why I think that's going to be super important for you. So if we start on the right side of the house here, I would definitely want to utilize this tree somehow. Now I know you want to focus on here, and I think we can definitely do that. And the way I would do that is I would start with just a standard accent light like this one, just a regular 20 watt equivalent, or it's called a just a 4-watt LED bulb. And I would definitely have at least 3 of those on this side of the house. And because it looks like these shrubs are right close, you're probably going to have it somewhere back here, a little bit further back from the shrubs. So call it maybe 12 to 24 inches back from the shrubs. And this is where you might want to test it first. And you want to have it shining pretty straight up. You don't want it shining right at the house because it'll create kind of a hot spot on these bushes here. But you'll be safe to put it back here and have it kind of shining up, because these shrubs are going to actually help keep that light from shining right in the window. So I would probably have one right up the right in the middle at the peak here, and then I would try and get another one at the side over here and somewhere over here. So the big key was just trying to get, you know, fairly equal distance between them, so you have a nice balanced light on that section of the house. And then if you're up for the challenge, one thing I would try and do, if you want to kind of light this area a little bit where they'd be walking through the fence or any of this, I would love to see some up lighting, or sorry, some down lighting up here. So the down lighting is basically, it's just, you would actually mount the light up in the tree and have it shining down. And why I like that is because it's a very natural looking moonlight effect. It's a little bit more work because you do have to run some wire up in the tree. If you're something you're interested in, let me know. We have some easy mounting stakes and some tricks and stuff you can do if that's something you want to do. If not, I think even just trying to get, you know, 1 or 2 high intensity uplights. So same light, but I would probably increase the intensity to a 35 watt or a 50 watt equivalent LED bulb, just to throw some light up this tree. And I would say probably at least 2 of them, maybe kind of 1 in here and 1 over on this side, pretty much just trying to get as high up of that tree as possible. In the perfect world, I would almost even try and mount one up in this crook here that shoots up, just because it is such a large tree. But let me know if that's something you guys want to consider. But yeah, definitely starting with that side of the house. Then as we move to the front here, I think you can definitely light these 3 trees with no issues. One thing I would do just to kind of, you know, make it a little bit different is I would probably try and get one of those uplights at the base of this. Again, you know, fairly close. A lot of people try and get it too far out and then shine it at the bush, and then they end up creating a hot spot. I like to have it a little bit tighter and have it shooting up more. That beam angle is still going to catch a lot of that, and plus you're going to really do a good job of lighting the branching and the structure and the trunk. And I would do the same thing on this tree. And then this tree, because it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit closer to the house, I would probably consider trying to get 2 accent lights on this one and try and have them a little bit further out over here and have them shining into the tree like this. Now you're not going to get as much on the branching structure, but it's going to be a slightly different look than on these 2 trees in the front. So you get a little bit of balance. Not everything's the exact same. You know, you're creating some different effects. So that's what I would do there. On the front of the house here, the way I would light this, now this is where you might have to test it a little bit. and see what you like. One thing I would recommend, because I noticed that a lot of these shrubs are fairly close to the house, so to get the light as close to the house as I would like, because typically, again, I like to have the light, you know, within about 12 to 18 inches of, especially when you have stonework like this, to the wall, and have it shining pretty vertical, pretty straight up, so that it catches a lot of the little subtleties, and you can really see the texture in the brickwork. But if those shrubs are really close, that might be a little bit trickier. So two things you could do, and I would test this to see what you like more. And again, it depends how close those shrubs are, but either bring those accent lights back a little bit and have them still shining fairly high up, but you're going to catch a little bit of the bushes in the front too. So I would probably try and have an accent light here. I'd probably try and get an accent light somewhere in the middle that goes up the chimney here, and then another one out by the window. If you can't get them close to the house and you like that look better, something you want to go and do is just get some risers. So we do sell them, but they're a little bit expensive. You can go to a Home Depot or any big box store and basically just get a 1/2-inch riser. So all the lights have a 1/2-inch thread on them, as well as the ground stake. So you can get a 1/2-inch riser like this, and this end screws into the ground stake, and then you also get a 1/2-inch female coupler on both ends, and you screw that on the top of the other end, and then you screw your light into that, and you can go and get whatever height you need to get that light just above those shrubs. So I hope that makes sense. But you know, you don't want the light sticking up, you know, popping up here so you see it. You want it just above that shrub, so you might want to just measure that, and if it's a 24-inch riser you need, you can go grab some of those at a Home Depot for you know, a couple bucks, as opposed to, you know, 30 or 40 bucks is the ones that we do. But most of the time I'll just go to Home Depot and get them, and it saves a lot of money that way. So that's an option, and I think that's probably going to be the best option, and is going to look the best. And I would do the same anywhere where you can't get it close enough to the house. So I'll just talk to you about the accent light. So I would have an accent light here, here, and here. On this side over here, I would try and get them on both sides of the shutters here. So again, just kind of shooting straight up the shutters. And then on this area here, it just depends how wide this is, but I would probably try and get 3 on this area here too. So one up the side here, one up the side here. And this is where this one, if this shrub is far enough, I would almost bring that light back behind it and have it catch some of that shrub, and then kind of highlight the front window section. So again, something you want to test out, but that's probably how I would do that. And then on this side, because I noticed these, I'm not sure what they are, if they're cedars or whatever, they might be a little tight to the house here to be able to get that light against the bricks or the shutters here. So if you can't do that, I think even having just 2 lights, you know, moving in a little bit closer to the window, wherever you can get them. Again, the big key is just balance. I don't know if 1 light will quite be enough here, so I think you want to have 2 spread out almost as far as you can. Obviously that depends on where this cedar is. If you can only get it this far, then just try and match that with the window kind of on the other side, and you're still going to get a lot of light that's going to cover this whole front section. And then the other thing that I will say, if you're up for the challenge, I would definitely try to, a lot of people don't, because it's a little bit more work, but if you can actually run some wire up the gutter here and into the gutter, we have some gutter mounts. A gutter mount basically just fastens right on to the gutter. It screws in. It's super easy. And I would look at putting a wash light like this on these 3 bedroom peaks here. So the wash light, it's a softer, more subtle light, so you don't have to worry so much about it, you know, blasting light in there. But I would try and get one on the gutter here, here, and on this one. Would really make the house stand out. And from anybody else, I guarantee you on your block that probably has landscape lighting, because most people won't do that. And you can run the wire up the gutter, you can make the connections and just hide them in the gutter. They're all waterproof, so it's fine. And it would just really enhance that. It is a lot more work to get up there and do that, but an option I definitely want to give you. Yeah, and then coming along the side of the house here, I would do the same thing with the accent lights. So the same accent lights, I would have one, you know, over here that shines up the wall, over here that shines up the wall, and then over here that shines up to this peak. This is one where I might increase the intensity a little bit. So rather than a standard 20 watt equivalent bulb, I would look at a 35 watt equivalent bulb. Now again, These are all LEDs, so I'm basically just going from 4 watt to a 5 watt bulb, which is just a little bit brighter. And all that's going to do is just going to get a little bit further up to that top peak. It's also something you may want to consider with this chimney, is getting just a slightly brighter bulb for that one as well, so that you can get that light, you know, all the way to the top there. And then you had mentioned path lights too, and I'm assuming it's, yeah, this area here. These are by far my favorite path lights. 12-inch stem, it keeps them fairly low and fairly hidden. You won't need a lot. I would say you could probably throw kind of one in here, and then if you have room, maybe, you know, one more over here, and possibly one in here. But I wouldn't do more than 4. I think 3 might even work if you did one in there, and could try and get one over to this side here. One thing I will say is if you got to get wire under the sidewalk and there's no other way, something you might want to go and grab is something like this. You can get them on Amazon. It's basically it's called a bulb drill. If you just search like Yard Butler or bulb drill, you usually find them. They're anywhere from 24 to 36 inches long, and they're about anywhere from 2 to 3 inches in diameter, and it just fits into a regular, you know, even battery operated drill. And now all you have to do is just kind of dig back the sod a little bit, and then you just drill right underneath. And if it doesn't quite go on the other side, you might have to drill from the other side too, but it's the easiest way to sneak wire in there, if there's not like a little gap or somewhere that you need to kind of get across that section. So hope that all makes sense. And yeah, and so this one, you might want one, you might want the higher intensity, and you might even actually want 2 uplights here. It's just going to give you a little bit more light. You are going to get a little bit of residual light off the driveway, not a ton, but I think that would do a really, really good job of lighting that side of the house. I hope I've covered all the areas and answered all your questions. I know it's a little bit of a longer video, but let me know what you like for those concepts and stuff, and I can put together a custom kit for you that includes everything you need: transformer, wire, connectors, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and we go from there. Any questions, just feel free to reach out again. Thanks so much, Andrew.
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools on how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video just like that one, send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property. And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.